when we think of grammar, it usually feels, I don't know, like reading a manual for a washing machine or something, just dry, technical, a list of parts to memorize.
Right, yeah, very mechanical. I mean, a lot of people see it as just this rigid set of rules dictating, exactly where to place your subject, verb, and object.
Exactly. But what if what if it's more like being a movie director? You are literally choosing where to point the camera, who gets the spotlight, and who gets pushed into the shadows. So keep that director's chair in mind, because today's mission is our deep dive into the grade 12 Get Involved textbook, specifically Unit 7, Going Unplugged.
Yeah, and our goal for you today is to really distill the nuances of the passive voice, along with modal passives and causatives. We're going to reveal exactly how applying these specific director's cuts will, elevate your writing and help you get those top marks on your exam.
So let's unpack this, maybe starting with the passive voice.
Yeah, that director analogy you mentioned is actually perfect here, because instead of worrying about mathematical sentence formulas, think about panning the camera away from who is acting and focusing entirely on who or what is affected. Like the textbook example, learning apps are used by the majority of students.
Wait, let me push back on that directorial choice for a second. So instead of, I check my phone, it becomes my phone is checked. I mean, isn't the active voice just a lot punchier?
Yeah.
Why blur out the person doing the action?
Well, it is punchier, yeah, but sometimes the person doing the action is totally obvious or just completely irrelevant. Like, if the scene is fundamentally about the app, the camera stays on the app. And the textbook actually introduces a great colloquial trick for this too.
Oh, right, swapping out the formal verbs for get in casual conversation.
Exactly. So instead of saying, I am distracted, you just say, I get distracted easily.
Ah, yeah, that feels much more natural. Though, wait, I remember a catch with that. You can't use get with state verbs, right? Like those verbs describing a state of being or feeling, knowing or liking.
Spot on. Yeah, you can't say, he gets liked by everyone. It really only works for action verbs.
Got it. So if we keep this camera rolling on our theme of going unplugged, I mean, taking a break from screens usually requires setting some hard boundaries.
Yeah.
As a director, how do we use this grammar to, lay down the rules on set?
That's where you use modal passives. You keep the focus on the rule itself, not who is enforcing it. So the text gives a firm one. Cell phones should be banned in class. The camera is basically locked onto the cell phones and the ban.
Right. We don't care if it's the principal or the teacher doing the banning. The focus is the rule itself. But what happens when the director, say, loses control of the set or, outsources the action? Like if I don't fix my own phone, I take it to a shop.
So that's where the causative structure comes in. Having or getting something done, you're still shifting the focus, but this time you're kind of outsourcing the stunts. Like, I get my hair cut or I had my phone repaired. You are the one organizing the action, but someone else is doing the physical work.
Oh, I see. I'm the producer, not the actor.
Yeah, exactly. And here's the real twist. The textbook shows how we use this exact same structure when things go completely off script, too. The example they give is Barry had his phone stolen at the cafe.
Wait, Barry obviously didn't hire a stunt double to steal his own phone.
Right, he certainly didn't. But using that causative structure perfectly captures the feeling of an event happening to him and his possessions, entirely outside of his control.
Okay, so for everyone listening who actually needs to take an exam on this stuff, how do they prove they have these, directorial chops?
Well, when we look at the Band 5 evaluation rubrics for this unit, top marks really demand maturity of thought. The graders want to see you seamlessly blend this complex grammar with the unit's specific vocabulary. So, it's not enough to just write a simple, accurate passive sentence.
You need to marry the camera angle with the script. So taking the going unplugged vocabulary, things like chilling out, getting active, or expressions with make, instead of just a basic active sentence, I could write something like, efforts are being made to encourage students to keep in shape.
There you go. You absolutely nailed the passive focus with efforts are being made, and you integrated the thematic vocabulary flawlessly. That really shows the sophisticated control a Band 5 score requires.
Nice. So here is your shortcut to mastering Unit 7. You use the passive voice to direct the camera's focus. Set your tech boundaries with modal passives, outsource your actions with causatives, and then blend it all with your target vocabulary to show real linguistic maturity.
And definitely think about this the next time you discuss your own screen time. Our language naturally shifts to the passive voice with technology. Messages are sent, screens are checked. By removing the active I from these sentences, does our grammar subtly make us feel less personally responsible for our daily digital habits?
Wow. Are we using the director's camera to intentionally blur ourselves out of the picture? That is definitely something for you to mull over the next time your phone is checked.